everybody, welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinematic Escape on YouTube. Today's review is based off of one of my favorite films that was released in 1984. It became the cult classic that everybody is quite familiar with, and anyone who knows this artist knows the popularity and his musical genius that has cemented himself as one of the greatest musicians of all time and is legendary. I mean, he is by far one of the greatest, if not the greatest musician of all time. The film that I'm talking about is his first feature-length debut as an actor is Purple Rain. Also with the soundtrack, Purple Rain, which is obviously completely amazing as well. The film Prince's Purple Rain, when you really think about it, we don't necessarily coincide with him as a strong masterclass actor, because let's be honest here, as much as we love Prince as a musical genius, he is not a strong actor by any means. It's not a slight on him, but what I really did enjoy about this film, especially after watching it fairly recently again, and putting aside any type of flaws that I may have noticed here and there, I appreciate the fact that this film has a true sense of rawness to it. Now, the story is about Prince, who plays the kid who is one of the hottest commodities at this club that he's playing in, and it also features Prince's real-life band, The Revolution. So you remember in the 80s, it was known as Prince of the Revolution before it transformed into Prince of the New Power Generation. Also with Prince in this film, it stars Apollonia, who plays Apollonia, and you have Morris Day in the Time, played by Morris Day in the Time, who plays his rival in this film, and Apollonia being the love interest. Morris Day in the Time are more or less the antagonists to the film. Since they are rivals to the kid, he is attempted to find a way to overcome this myriad of self-doubt and worry, and on top of him experiencing, being in conflict with not only with the club owner, but also with his band. He is dealing with an abusive household where the father is played by Clarence William III, and you have the mother who is they're constantly at odds with one another, and the father, being an abusive husband, is just everything that is going on in his home is placed upon him, and he uses music, I feel, as a means to escape the reality that he's experiencing. So, on top of that, while you don't watch the film for any type of strong acting, it's really all about the music. I appreciate the fact that the music in and of itself, considering how wonderfully talented Prince was and remains, when you really think about it, his music transcends time itself. I love the sense of rawness raw, sincere honesty within this film. The music, while it doesn't necessarily play in the type of way that you would think of, say, with The Greatest Showman or Rocket Man or Bohemian Rhapsody, the music does have a central focus to it, but it doesn't necessarily propel the story, if you will, if that makes any sense. The music in and of itself, along with the lyrics, isn't necessarily coincided with the dialogue. It's not as if the artists are talking to each other while singing at the same time. The music, it serves a story, but it's more or less exposing the audience to, at least at that time, what the soundtrack of Purple Rain was all about. The soundtrack, for a fun little fact, garnered Prince his first Academy Award, which was a very rare thing at the time. Also, the song "Darling Nikki" from the film and the soundtrack garnered a lot of controversy at the time, where it prompted Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, who went on to form the PMRC, the Parents Music Resource Center, due to from the song "Darling Nikki," with the lyrics, I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was sexy. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. That moment and those lyrics in the film and the soundtrack generated so much controversy, because at the time, no artist was really deliberately singing about sex in that way. It was all about, artists like Madonna and Michael Jackson, who had a little bit of references here and there, but it was veiled enough to the point to where it wasn't so blatantly in your face. Where you had Prince, who came out, no one was singing about these things at the time. Nobody was talking about these things at the time. Prince was really in your face with it, and that's what it was so monumentally new. And it's not just that song. You have songs like, you think about it, Raspberry Beret, Peach, Little Red Corvette, Get Off, Cream, Diamonds and Pearls. All those songs and all those lyrics at the time, when you first heard them as children, you didn't think too much about it. It always went over your head. It wasn't until that you became, more or less a teenager, or even to your early adult life, that you started thinking, wow, so that's what he was talking about. That's what Darling Nikki was all about at that point in time. But from that perspective, The music is what I also enjoy about the film. I love one of my favorite moments, actually, and my favorite song, other than the title track itself, is "The Beautiful Ones." That moment where Prince is on stage and he's singing to Apollonia while she's sitting there with Morris Day is so iconic and emotional, and the song just has a very catchy, melodic, harmonious, beautiful driving beat along with the guitar work and the piano and Prince's soaring vocals just make that moment so memorable that you're just feeling that passion that he's exuding towards Apollonia as he's deliberately pointing at her and saying and asking, do you want him or do you want me because I want you? Just flat out in your face, powerful, just a wonderful moment. And of course with the climax with him doing the Purple Rain song, just overall beautiful. Again, you don't watch the film for the acting; you pretty much watch the film for the music. But I do appreciate the fact that the overall story does have a sincere, raw element to it that allows the story to captivate the audience in a way that it connects with them on a soulful and emotional level. I absolutely will always cherish. I mean, obviously the film and the soundtrack. My goal is to actually get the soundtrack, the special edition soundtrack that has the father's song on it, which is a beautiful piano piece that Prince's father composed. It's just, and it actually went on, pieces of that song went on to become part of a Computer Blue. And you hear it here and there. You hear more of the guitar work, you hear the piano pieces in the background. But other than that, that is my review of Purple Rain. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, anyone who is interested in seeing similar films, I do recommend Dirty Dancing, Rocket Man, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Rose, The Greatest Showman. I mean, there are a lot of films that you could watch that follow that same type of premise, but nothing will ever top Purple Rain when it comes to the overall connectivity that the film and the music managed to captivate the audience with, and Prince's musical genius, bar none. That'll be top-notch, top quality. That's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. I hope you guys remain safe and healthy, and you'll be hearing from me again. Take care, and peace out.